the part where I need to introduce the guys on the show. Not because I just enjoy it for the sake of doing it, but because the guys manage to pick up new identities every time. King Punk, The Undertaker, The White Raven, Amachi Dede's cousin. Punk is looking luxurious tonight, trust me. Pog's nephew, DK, Charlie, Udine Dawson. Nana, okay, I won't introduce you to that one. That one is a coded name. There is a coded name. The day he will misbehave, I will drop it on the show. But Gordon is here. Yeah, Charlie, Gordon. Agnes Boache. Fantastic name. Agnes Boache. Aggie Jiu2. Tumu VVD. Tumu Jon Snow. These days, I hear you have added Shatter Bundles to your name. Shatter Bundles! Charlie? No, you be too much. Fentuo Tahiru Fentuo, you be too much. And of course, Peter Drew's long-lost son, the lyricist, the pianist, international relations analyst, the journalist. Too much sauce. A little Spanish. Introduce yourself to the people.
Oh, buenas tardes a todos. Me llamo Nathan Kwao. Soy periodista de deportes a City FM y City TV. Bienvenido.
Oye, guy. Coach.
So I just introduced myself.
No, coach, relax.
I told people where I work.
Coach, relax.
I told them.
These days, when I get to you, I need to drop the tone so that the spirit can enter the studio. Yes, I like that. Do that. The spirit must enter the studio. Yes, the rabbi is in our presence. The man of God. The one who sets the ball rolling. Please commit us into a heavenly place.
You was about. You are jire. Oh, you are what beku. When it's one nama, so one nima, so oh. What bad no my job? You why when a bino back be now when we go belay achi. Oh, I can mene Ghana. What thing me? I can feel all African games. Gold medal say kume bamo. She won na le binu watawole. One papu fake be na back our host to your BN no ni saka wafe. When I used to program ne. No okay jaji wo no pa na me na ake. No na ba host your BN. I can Egypt now over 180 gold. Enya wana 30, enya 15. If 4 years from now, you are Wogbele anunya ya Ghana bami. Amen.
Amen.
If we don't watch them, what's a bam bam? Or they would jam yo. Tagana. Street beat up. Give me the beat up. Now. Whoa. Give me the bang. Give me the bam biddy. Oh, give me the bam biddy. Give me the bam biddy. Zaga. Give me the bam biddy. Hustle for the money. Work for the money. I see they pray for the money. Die for the money. Don't forget to banana. I see they shake your back for the banana. We they rise up the man them banana. Buy one get one free for the anana. Oh I. Hey Binny man, we are the girl them sugar. Same time and the girl them banana. We are the girl them sugar. Same time and the girl them banana. We are the girl them sugar. Same time and the girl them banana. The girl them sugar. Same time and the girl them banana.
Yeah, Charlie. It's still Sports Panorama. But this is how we are choosing to celebrate that 4x100 team. Azamati, Amoa, Safo Entry. Top guys, Charlie.
Every girl say me hot like the Sahara. On this so me score like a baller. She feel like a virgin, Madonna. Juice busting at your belly, you know their mama. Beanie man, me have the girls them banana.
Charlie.
Charlie, is this the jam?
Hey.
Dear Lord.
You be the girl them sugar.
Nana.
Charlie. girl them sugar. You can't even trim.
No.
No. See, no, relax. You must translate it for me. You be the girl them sugar. How will you say it in Chi? Coach, please, how will you say you be the girl them banana in Chi?
In Chi.
A man who kwedu.
A man in our kwedu.
No.
A man in our.
Every girl say me hot like the Sahara. And this pretty girl named
Charlie, but this is a jam. Hey!
like a baller.
What?
A virgin, Madonna.
Charlie Stone Gather.
See, no, I know Stone Dada has always had it too, but I thought that Beanie
I thought Beans was done,
dead and buried. I thought Beanie was dead and washed. Charlie. Charlie, this song, if you play it for me somewhere, I can lose all my home training.
Why not get Fanny BP? No more. Oh, no more. No one. No touches your.
Let's get down to business, guys. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about the All African Games. Today was day 12, but we cannot even move ahead to day 12 without recapping that big bit of history. Ghana winning 4x100 men's relay gold. Something that I haven't seen in a long time. I don't know about you guys, but I've watched that video close to 50 times. Yeah. Close to 50 times. And I get goosebumps every time I watch it. Especially when Azamati took the baton. The second sprinter took the baton on. Yeah. He had so much ground to make up. I was watching a blur, literally. Literally, it was a blur. Joseph Amo, of course, from Copen State also. Just 22 years. Now, for those of you who don't know, he was almost becoming a footballer. Almost became a footballer because that really was his passion. But here we are. Today, Ghana won another medal, but I'll be giving you more details about that. I'll toss this around the table, and then we'll get to the details of it in a bit. But, Fent, let me start off with you. Mm-hmm. You've practically been on this. You were practically streaming that race live when it was happening. Mm-hmm. How did it feel like after following athletics for so long to actually witness Team Ghana just blow everybody away? Did you first of all think we had it in us though?
No, I thought so, especially after the heat. You know, because the heat gave an indication of what the team was made of. They run a very good time, the fastest time in the qualifying series. So you could tell that there was something special about them. However, the heat and the relays especially, it's not always about who runs the fastest. It's about who is tactical and who is technical enough, especially in the baton handover. That is always the most crucial thing. You can ask the Americans, they'll tell you how crucial it is to hand over that baton as smoothly as they did. Because this relay team, and the reason a lot of us had a few trepidations about what could happen in the final was that they had never competed before as a team, ever, going into the African Games. In fact, the World Relay Championships, Ghana couldn't put together a relay team for the men.
There was only the women that
went because of unavailability of certain athletes at certain times. The same thing happened back in the London Championships in 2017. We did not have a male relay team because that's how much we've struggled to put together a men's relay team over the years. The last relay team, you have to go back to 2015 at the African Games. They were there, Emmanuel Dassault and co, and they won a medal as well. They won a bronze medal, I believe, back in 2015. But this team, what they did was special, and especially considering that they had never run together going into the African Games. And the heat was there.
You should actually mention that because people understate the importance of chemistry and practice because in a relay.
In a relay, you need to understand your team members. You need to understand that Nathan wants the baton handed over to him with his left or with his right, or he wants it with his hand a little bit forward, or with his hand stretching backwards. So all these things, all these technicalities go into running a relay, and it takes months and months and months of practice to perfect that. But when you watch that baton handover, especially from Azamati to Martin, it was so smooth.
For those who cannot identify the athletes, can you when you
From the second leg to the third leg,
2 to 3, all right.
It was amazing. It was so smooth. It was almost as if there was some magnet. You know, it was so effortless, and to do that only on the second time of running together as a team, that was ridiculously good.
So
the effort.
Sean Safwenchi started the relay.
Sean Safwenchi started the relay. Sean is a professional athlete.
Yeah.
It's important to talk about that. He's been running a long time. Last year, he made history by becoming the first Ghanaian to actually qualify for in 2017, in fact, to qualify for the World Indoor Championship Finals over 60 meters. No Ghanaian athlete had ever done that. He did that. Unfortunately, this hasn't been a great year for him, but even he has a personal best. He has a season's best of 10.18 seconds, which is still pretty fast enough, but not a sub 10 second runner. But he still did pretty well. You look at the second leg runner, Azamati, the guy that's coming for a lot of praise.
Charlie, the guy
This
ran
kid,
rough.
this kid is a University of Ghana student going to level 300. I can tell you exclusively here, he's transferring to Texas A&M right after the African
and
Games.
that's a proper D1 school
It
for
is.
sports.
It is a proper D1 school for sports, the Division 1 school for sports. So it's a place that he will learn a whole lot. And this kid, he's been blazing history all over, whether it's from the African University game. He's been practically unbeatable here at home, Azamati. And before him was this kid from UDS, Safo Ansa, who was making lots of waves. Last year, he actually went to the Commonwealth Games, Safo Ansa, and then Azamati comes from nowhere. And Safo Ansa is a University of Development Studies student, University for Development Studies student. Azamati comes from nowhere, and he completely blows everybody apart. He's the only locally based athlete among this quartet. Now you look at the third leg runner, Martin Enchi, aka Pablo, Don Pablo. He's a former student of OWAS, Opokowari School. This kid in school, he wasn't always the best at running. In fact, there was a point he wanted to give up running. He wasn't encouraged to run. He got the scholarship all right, went to Coppin State, and there's a story that people don't know. He was actually the one who recommended to his coach to bring in Joe Paul. And Joe Paul is a former student of Prempeh College. Now, there is a running theme here, school sports.
Yep.
And especially
Ashanti region.
Thank you. So there's an Owarian there. There's a Prempeh there.
Yeah.
We know Azamati is from Presec Legon. And Sean is a UK-based athlete. But we're talking about the importance of this. As for Joe Paul, so Martin Ewusu is a 200-meter specialist. That is his specialist event. Unfortunately, he didn't qualify to the finals of the individual 200 meters. As I stated, he's not always been the most talented. And he recognizes that. But he is a 200-meter specialist. That's why he ran the bend. Because running the bend isn't for everyone. That's why when you take the women's 4x100-meter relays for the Americans, for example, it's always Alison Felix running the bend because she's a 200-meter specialist. That's how it works. So that's why he ran that leg. And as for Joe Paul, he's a history maker. And it wasn't so surprising that he overtook Itsikiri. And Itsikiri was the guy who beat Joe Paul to the bronze medal in the individual 100 meters event earlier in the competition. Because Joe Paul did not get a medal. He finished fourth. He finished behind the Itsikiri guy. The Itsikiri guy was the one he went head-to-head with when the batons were handed over to the two of them. And he left him for dead. And there's no surprise there because Joseph Amoah, this year, just in May, he broke the national 200-meter record held by Emmanuel Tufo back in 1995. 24-year-old record. He broke that. Run some 20.1, I think 20.12 seconds or so. Tufo's record stood 20.15, in fact. Tufo's record stood at 20.18 seconds. So he is, as we speak, the record holder for the national 200 meters. in Ghana, a 24-year-old record held by none other than the legendary Emmanuel Tufo. In the 100 meters, he's 10.01.
That's good. That's very good.
It is really good. He became the first male athlete to qualify for the Olympic Games, Joseph Amoah. So he's already on the way to Tokyo, both in the 100 meters and in the 200 meters. And he's been making waves. Absolutely delightful. As for the records he's broken in Coppin State, the university he is at, it's uncountable. And he is an All-American. Which is a big deal if you understand college sports.
Okay. Friends, okay, so for the uninitiated who are listening, what does it mean to be an All-American athlete? So people would understand the gravity of his achievement.
So you're talking about Division 1 schools, right?
Yeah.
And Benjamin can help me out here.
Yep.
You know, when you talk about Division 1 schools in America, it is a big deal. The Division 1 schools compete at a different level, the NCAA Division 1. So to become an All-American, you need to be a winner in your individual race, whether it's 200 meters, whether it's 100 meters. And not once, not twice.
To make it even simpler, and
Yes.
not even to break it down a lot, it means that if it's 200 meters in the United States NCAA Division 1 schools, it means that Amoah, if the All-American list is made up of 20 people, Amoah is in the mix in that 20.
So it's a ranking that depending on the times that you make. And the NCAA, for example, there is a big debate currently ongoing in the NCAA and the IAAF, because the IAAF does not recognize the times from the NCAA. But the strangest thing is that if you take, for example, the World Championships back in 2017, to make the World Championship finals for 100 meters, there were people who ran 10.05 and made the 100 meters championship final. This is the World Championship final. 10.08, they made the World Championships final. At the NCAA 100 meters, somebody actually made 10.05 and missed out on the finals.
That's how competitive it is.
And that's how competitive it is. And somehow the IAAF still doesn't recognize the NCAA as a qualifying event to its World Championships. Ridiculous. So Joseph Amoah's achievements are immense. So which brings us back to the point that how did he get here? From Pempe College. He was a student at KNUST before he also transferred. And two of them, he and Martin Osu Enchi, they won the African University Relays back in 2016. So this has been happening. And you see, and I think that we have to give credit not only to the secondary schools, who are credited for always unearthing these talents at the Interco, but it appears that there is a shift in competition and in talent development from the secondary schools to the universities. And that's where credit is due, because Azamati is a University of Ghana student. Martin, Jopo, both were at KNUST. Safo Ansa, UDS. And that is, I think, mostly because the universities have realized that now it's important to give athletics and sports in general a bit of attention. And they're awarding scholarships to this kid. And I'll give you a good example. Rose Yeboah. Rose is the one that won the gold medal in the women's high jump. You know what that means for a Ghanaian to actually win a gold medal in high jump at an international competition? And she's only 17 years old. She's a student of UEW as well. UCC, sorry, as well. UCC. And after she won the gold medal at the African University Olympics, the university's vice chancellor actually gave her a lifetime scholarship at the school. So if Rose wants to stay at UCC, she can stay, graduate, do a master's, do a PhD, all for free. These are the sort of incentives that the universities are now coming up with to encourage all of these athletes do well at the university level. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. So this is very, very encouraging. And it's important to talk about Rose as well, because she is another athlete who's won the only other gold medal that we had. And she's also been showing signs from a very early stage. Earlier this year, she was in Abidjan. You remember, she won gold in the high jump. At the African University Games, she won gold at the high jump. And Grace Obuo, for example, who won bronze in the women's 400 meters, she was in Abidjan. She was the young lady whose medal was taken away from her because she competed in the wrong race. And the race that she was supposed to compete, she competed in under 18 when she was supposed to compete in under 20. The under 20 race in Abidjan, because it's, ECOWAS under 18 and under 20. The under 20 race was won by a Kenyan called Mary Mora. The same Mary Mora who came to the African Championships, Grace beat her to a medal. Grace finished third, she finished fourth. It tells you how much of a talent that Grace really is and how much she's developed over the years. So athletics, as much as is, I think outside of football, the GAA is the most criticized federation. And a lot of the criticism had been merited. However, at these competitions, it always takes them, like Godfrey would say, to come and save face and salvage us from all of this, because we have 2 gold medals.
All of them from athletics.
And both of them are from athletics. And athletics going into the champions look like the federation that was in complete disarray. And somehow they've gone to pull out that. And they deserve the credit because a lot of these athletes who gain the scholarships to go abroad, the GAA plays a crucial role. There's more than 60 Ghanaian athletes who are abroad now, who are on scholarships at US universities because the GAA actually facilitated that. And that's something people don't talk about. Because the next step...
That's something you have got to credit people like Professor Dodo for.
Professor Dodo and his people. So we may have our concerns about them and our criticisms of them, but in this regard,
and
they've
the
done...
way they go about organizing
but in this regard...
stuff like that.
In this regard, they've done marvelously. And if you look at all of the athletes that came, only Sean didn't go through their hands. The rest of them all came through their hands.
The GAA circuit. You need to mention that.
The GAA circuit organized
It's been
5, 6 competitions in a year. How many of the other federations other than football actually have up to 6 competitions in a year? Locally, that's where they get all of these athletes, get them scholarships to go abroad. And this is where I make this point. The reason a lot of our athletes go to these competitions in August and struggle is this. Number 1, because they are in US universities, the NCAA championships ends in May. These competitions like the African Championships, the Olympics, the African Games are in August. Between May and August, when school is on vacation, they are not professional athletes, they don't have money, how do they train? That's where the government needs to step in and say that, okay, you're out of school. There's a competition that is 2 months ahead. This is money, GAA. Keep these athletes here. Give them coaches. Train them. But all of these athletes, right after school, after May, they've gone to sit at home. And I'll tell you one of them. Emmanuel Yaboa, T20 is what they call him. Another one from Kumasi. T20 is actually the second fastest over 100 meters when you consider the Ghanaians that run the relay. He's run 10.03. So if he had joined that relay team, we probably would be talking the national record, which is 38.12 seconds.
And that's rightly put, because they missed that record by 0.18 seconds.
Yes.
Not by much.
You see? 38.30 and 38.12. Set all the way back in 1997 at the Athens World Championship by the Aziz Zakaris and the rest. So it's important. We need to do these things. The government needs to step in and help these athletes. Even the long jumper, Deborah Aqua. Deborah was only brought in. That was what happened
That's what
caused the baton drop. She
had to replace Persis
because Persis was injured.
And clearly there was no chemistry. Clearly her teammates didn't know her.
But even after she dropped the baton, in her individual event, the long jump, she redeemed herself and won silver. Now she told me she can't feel her back because she was competing with an injury. And her coaches are upset with her. I have a question. Where is Janet Amponsa? Because if you can answer this question, it does tell you. Because the moment she was done with school and graduated,
that's it.
And didn't go pro because she doesn't have money to go pro, there's nobody else to support her. But she just, a year ago, 12 months ago, she won silver in the 100 meters in the African African Championships in Nigeria.
That's actually a really salient point you're making, because even Nadia Ike, who went to Columbia University, Ivy League, she's lived in the United States for a long time. She's been telling me that it's never easy to actually pursue a professional career as an athlete, regardless of the school you went to.
It's not.
Your government needs to help in a way.
You see, because there's a lot of money involved. You are moving about taking part in these competitions. It requires money.
You need to be elite to be signed by a kid's
Yeah, you need to be running a sub 10. That's why Divine Odudu, the Nigerian, he was at Texas A&M. He quit school after level 200 and said, "Yeah, I never expected it." That guy. Yeah. He quit school and said he was going pro. He's gone pro. He's going to run at the Diamond League. They are leaving him behind, and he's got an agent who is able to get him into the Diamond League. And now it's not. He's got so much going on at the African Championships in the 200 meters. His specialist event, he was beaten by a Zambian, Siami. It's incredible.
Well, friend, I officially crown you an athletics avatar, an athletics matin jire. You are the
Oshokwek.
Charlie, the chef, the chief, the captain.
Everything.
It's okay.
Charlie, J03. J03. Let me just quickly run through the list of the others that have also won medals at the games. And you look at the 4x100 relay men's gold. We have that one in the bag. There's Rose Yeboah also in the mix there. She won high jump gold. And then there's Deborah Aqua, who won long jump silver. Grace Obour won 400 meters bronze. And then also in boxing, Samet Shakur, men's light heavy bronze. In weightlifting, which happens to be our medal haven, or our medal oasis. That's where all the action actually is. Forrest, I'll say men's clean jerk silver. Akwe David also won clean jerk bronze. Christian Amoa won 2 bronze medals, and then Winifred Ntumi won 3 bronze medals. Nathan, weightlifting.
Yeah, you have to credit the people at the weightlifting federation. I think that Benunu Mensah and his colleagues and friends. I think that they are doing a great job. In the last few years, you notice that they've
had our largest medal haul.
In the last few years, if you put it all together, they've won. I remember they went to Morocco, they picked up tons of awards. And our first 3 medals came from Winfred Ntumi. She won 3 medals, I think, on a Sunday, and then all the others started to follow. So you have to give credit to the people at the weightlifting place. I don't know. They are putting in a lot of work, and they'll have to keep it up. It's nice.
They're also spending their own money.
Yes, and it is important. Every now and again.
Benunu Mensah is also taking.
Benunu Mensah actually spends a lot of his personal money.
It is personal money
on the weightlifters.
And it's interesting. Sometimes you see him going round trying to get sponsorship, trying to put in the work, trying to make things happen. You would really wish that a lot of the other federations or associations would also try to put in as much work. It is never easy. We understand. We admit. But if you've put yourself in that position,
start from somewhere.
To make something work. Eventually,
there has to be something special about the weightlifting, because they're winning all these medals, yet we're not paying attention. Football, we took the under-20 there. They didn't even make it out of the group.
Only one game. They were struggling. So I just
didn't make it out of the group.
I think entities like the weightlifting federation, for example, they need to be giving a lot of props. In that same vein, all the other associations, I think that 2 things must happen. We talk about support. They will have to get support from the state. It is agreed. But I also think that these federations should also pay a lot more attention to grooming, developing the athletes, because a lot of us are too interested in going to the event. We need to be very interested in grooming the people so they can go and put up a good show. It is very, very, very important. I'm not talking about the new federations, the nascent ones like fencing and co. Yes, those are quite new, so they will struggle. And I've seen them work, and I think that they will go far. But some of the more established ones need to pay more attention to grooming the athletes. Because it's not just showing up, reaching a quarterfinal and getting KO'd. No! We have to go from this point and taking these athletes into places, into schools, programs, scholarship, environments that will let them develop.
You know what I think? I believe that as a nation, the time has come for a mentality shift away from football.
No. Not necessarily.
Hold on. Let me just say this before we move on. I mean, look, it's all about value for money as far as where I am coming from. And if you consider our national team, which is the Black Stars, if we do, if I don't even want to go to value for money pool, because that one the streets will be dirty. If you consider you yourself, the emotions you have expended on this Black Stars team, if you consider the amount of money you have spent to take car to go to viewing centers to go and watch the Black Stars, the amount of times you've invested your heart in the national team, and they haven't produced anything, and they have come back along with their hangers on to produce the aftermath of arrogance, the aftermath of nonchalance,
wishy-washy.
I think that really,
budgets
look,
and all kinds of
the time has come where we need to say that, you know what, this is where we store our gold. So this is where we need to build our mine. That's actually what it is as a nation. It shouldn't be that big a deal, but we all know that we've been speaking about streamlining the number of federations in this country for donkeys. Nothing has happened. We've been talking about it. When our own good friend Pius Hajide was deputy sports minister, it was supposed to be in the works. Honorable Isaac Esiama, aka Yabana Yaba, you've been talking about it since, about streamlining federations in the country, just so we have money for what is important.
His response was say that, they are building the facility. You see, it is good. It is a problem that a hydra-headed problem, right? You need to solve different parts of it. So it's nice seeing that we are building the facilities. But I've always maintained that the problem we have in this country, and really the difference between the athletes here and the rest, is elite coaching. Elite coaching. I think that's where we need to get to that point where we are training our coaches to be better all across the sport, be it football, be it tennis, be it athletics, be it boxing.
Teaching is our biggest problem.
I think that gap, the reason why we don't crack it is because we are lacking in terms of elite training.
I will corroborate this point you're making.
With you.
I've spoken
100%.
I've spoken to two people, right? Professor Tyler Cadderford, he from the George Fox University. He was on the tracker a few weeks ago. I asked him about why African kids or kids down here practically struggle to make the jump to the pros and to the next level. And I asked him if it was really about the old cliche about facilities. And he said, look, you could provide the same facilities for the same kids in, let's say, a sample size of 10. And there are some people who just won't crack it if you go and bring facilities from space. But you need to know the individual differences of an athlete. So, for instance, if mechanism A or equipment A works at this speed for Fentuo Tahiru, it won't work for Nathan Kwao. So you need to be specialist conscious. And this same point was repeated again just about 2 weeks ago by Pops Mensah Bonsu. I asked him the same question about bridging the gap between the local athletes and the foreign athletes. We always talk about bringing in more equipment, what will facilities do without people to man the facilities and people to train
and even football. Namely collaborate all.
We keep recycling coaches in our national team, recycling everybody. You see Basigi and Bakwesi Fabin will be coaches if we are not careful. In the next 10 years,
Bakwesi is at his third stint at Inter-Allies.
Look at this again.
Because we talk about coach football every day. We say revive coach football. Namely, hold on, football. Who are the coaches there?
Hold on just a second.
The one who can shout in the community. The one who can organize the people in the community. No, that's the coach.
Let me just announce the text and WhatsApp line 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. It's a passionate conversation today about athletics and track and field generally. 0549 986 996. That's the text and WhatsApp line. Get to me at Kojo Nketia. Use the hashtag Sports Panorama. Let me just quickly run through the medal list again, and then Coach will have his say, and Daniel will also have a say on this before we move on. So in athletics, 4x100 relay men's gold. Rosier Boa, who is a high jumper.
4x100.
4x100 men's relay.
But you said something. Is it men's gold?
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. His brother is sitting in the studio.
Nami.
His brother is sitting in the studio.
Nami.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You forgot his brother.
On this pretty girl named Tamara.
Okay, so 4x100 relay men's gold. Rosia Boa, who is a high jumper, also won gold. Deborah Aqua won long jump silver. Grace Obor won the 400 meters bronze. In boxing, Samet Shaku won men's light heavy bronze. In weightlifting, Forrest Alsey won the men's clean jerk silver in the silver medal. David Akwe won clean jerk bronze. Christian Amwa has won 2 bronze medals, and also Winifred Ntumi with 3 bronze medals. Coach, we've said a lot.
Ben, look, I was watching the clip.
It's watched like 10 times.
And I've watched it over and over again and again and again. And I think the chap who
Benjamin Azamati,
that second chap,
hey,
he won the race for Ghana because he had lots of ground to cover. And I think there were 4 other athletes in front of him. He was just going past them as if they were not there.
Like a Ferrari.
Like a Ferrari. Look, it was so beautiful on the eye to watch. And I'll go and watch it again. Anytime I get, I'll watch it again. But like Nathan said, look, it's all about coaching. Look, for me, I look at the facilities that the minister says they're putting up all over the country. And I have said, and I'll continue to say, that these facilities, in my view, will not be put to the use, or will not be maximized in the sense that we will not benefit as a country if we don't put in place the right human resource to manage it. So I was talking to one of the renowned sports person in this country, and I said, look, if you put up such facility, first and foremost, it has to be a boarding facility. One, why do I say so? Because these athletes, these footballers, these boxers, these weightlifters, is that what they are called? They all need to be camped specifically at those places. 2, you need to liaise with the education ministry to ensure that these athletes, one thing that you will not deny them is education. And in doing so, can you think about a situation where, for example, the education ministry is in charge together with the sports ministry, and you have somebody like me? I'll use myself as an example. I do teach chemistry. I eat and live chemistry. I am a football coach.
Hold on.
Imagine,
please, you have an MSc
in chemistry.
Yes.
Spell it out properly.
Yes.
You understand?
It is a tedious process.
Let's let people know
It is
that
science.
So
when you go through
chemistry.
it, yeah,
so
let them know.
Assuming you have somebody like me at one of those centers, not only coaching football, but coaching education, academics, where do you think these athletes or these footballers will end up?
And it's good also you are mentioning this, because one other thing that nobody will tell you is that a good number of our athletes in the United States schools are, I wouldn't say not the best of students, but most of them are there mainly because of their sporting talent.
That's why they are on athletic scholarship. So they're not required to make the same GPA. You maintain a GPA of 2.0.
But it will be nice.
It would be nice
if you can graduate with a proper a proper degree, and find yourself something to do when you can't go pro.
There is life after that. Now, 2, I'm sad because looking at the sort of achievement that we've got, I'm looking at 4 years from now when Ghana will be hosting.
Yeah, 2023.
Where are we going to be? So I completely disagree. You remember we had to slash the number of athletes who went to this tournament or who went to this All-African Games.
We said we were only taking medal hopefuls.
Which was absolutely...
So we took 91 athletes. And
Not
we have
sensible.
won 12.
It was not sensible at all because it was like we were looking at it now. We're not looking at it 4 years from now. And that, because look at Egypt, how many medals?
Oh, 200 and something.
Look at Morocco, how many medals? And do you think that Ghana, from the way we do our things and the way we've done our things, 4 years from now, we can hit that medal?
200 We will be lucky if we have 200 athletes.
Zanla.
You look at those people who are making the decision, those who took those decisions. Because look, we are here, I'll talk for football. Brazil took Ronaldo in 1994, not to go and be a key member of that Romero Bebeto squad, but to go there and gain the experience.
2 years later, I was playing in the Olympics.
That's it.
Beating Ghana.
And beating Ghana. 4 years after, he was winning silver, or he lost gold against France. 8 years after, he won the World Cup.
Yeah.
The examples are there. So we could have
understand structure and growth.
We should have taken more athletes,
a lot of young
to
athletes,
go and then experience the situation. Because 4 years from now, if I look at that medal table, and Ghana is where we are today on the table, it would have been complete waste of money. And I'm afraid to say that that will be the case 4 years from now.
What we've done instead is that we've sent a lot of officials to go and observe,
To go and observe.
how to organize,
To come and learn how to
organize the games. But we don't care about
We don't
how
care
to
about
win
those
the
who
games.
actually go and partake in the games and bring laurels to the country. So for me, I'm looking at these guys, I'm looking at the race and I'm saying, wow, 4 years from now, if we could get 3 of such groups, maybe all these guys in the 100 meters, 200, 4x4, 4x1, the weightlifting, long jump, all these girls. There's this girl, I don't know, you didn't mention her name. The one who came from the north.
Haliti.
Yeah.
Yes, she ran the relay. They dropped the baton. She wasn't. So she, Haliti, Persis, and Flings. So we say Japan. The 3 of them were actually suffering from injury when they took them to the games.
Can you imagine that? You see,
So that's why Hall didn't enter for the individuals. That's why Flings didn't enter for the
because, look,
individuals.
I have no doubt
And the relay, they had
whatsoever.
no other athletes out there.
So someone had to step in.
They used a long jumper.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
had to
Because
step in.
we were here dropping people. Saying that you can't go, you can't go, you can't because
Yeah.
of money. And we blow money.
on-
We are still
on
waiting for the
necessities.
budget.
The budget breakdown.
You know, Godfrey just
It's still not in.
mentioned something, and it's important to put it across. Talk about the facilities not helping.
Yeah.
The location of the facilities, in a big example.
I was-
Look at the no, but I'll mention this one. The youth resource centers that we are building.
Yes.
Credit to Isaac Esiama, the sports minister,
credit
for
to
trying
him.
to create facilities
Facilities.
and bringing it to and ensuring that every region, at least the 10 old regions,
Has
each one has one. But if you want to build a youth resource center with an athletics track and a playing field and a boxing gym and all that in the Ashanti region, we know the home of athletics is Kumasi. Then you go and situate it at Nyinahini. I'm
So
not
the
saying
best-
that.
the best you can do is to make sure that there are educational facilities to back that, so that you take them there and
yes,
they stay there and
exactly.
live there. But if you
You
just
know,
go and build those things and leave it there,
So if you want to decentralize and you want to make sure that it's also in Nyinahini, make sure that there are other facilities to back it.
exactly.
But if you go and put it in, people have to go from Kumasi there.
There.
That's not.
The moment I'm here, VJ.
Daniel, please, the people have been waiting to hear from the oracle.
The Oracle only appears 3 p.m. on Fridays.
Now you are not the you are
Who?
But not on
What
the
are you
show.
talking about? He's not the oracle.
now you are what?
Ordinary human being.
Progress cousin.
You need to be possessed before you are in oracle mode. Thank you for the
You need
correction.
to
Thank
recite
you-
incantations.
Thank you for the correction, my lord.
Frog legs, polyjuice potion, those things.
Look, the key thing I took away from there, really, was first of all, we have to take into consideration, and we cannot overlook the fact that the Nigerian team that Ghana beat had 2 of their runners. One won the individual event, and one was 3rd in the individual event. So these are
And the other one holds the fastest time over 100 meters in Africa this year, in Divine Odudu.
exactly. So you are looking at the fastest man in the year in Africa, the champion of Africa, and the 3rd fastest man in Africa, and one other guy against a Ghanaian team,
Completely unknown.
completely unknown, who ran together in the final. That was the 2nd time they were running together. What he showed me was, first of all, obviously, Sean, he struggled this year, so I could understand how poorly he ran in the first leg. But Azamati, getting the baton, blazing 4 others and giving it to Martin. Look, it shows raw speed. It shows that when everybody is in motion, he's quicker.
Exactly.
And these things go down to coaching, because coaching involves training the athlete how to start, how to transition from your
mechanics.
starting position into your normal frame and getting going. But when it comes to raw speed, we have the talent. We are, frankly speaking, we are the best. Because you look at the Nigerians, they had a perfect baton change. There was nothing wrong with their baton change. The only defining factor was that the Ghanaians, or we were just quicker than
We
them.
have quicker enough.
You look at Joe Paul, and Joe Paul literally got the baton the same time as Isikiri, but he still managed to go past him. Not by he blazed him.
He blazed past him.
There was a very good gap. So in terms of raw speed, we have it. And it goes down to coaching, as we were saying. I'm not going to blame the Ghanaian coaches who went there with the team. You can't blame them. They teach the athletes to the best of their ability. It's the guys at the top who have to look and prioritize. And Ben made a fantastic point. I don't think, although I disagree with you, I don't think the over-concentration is on football. I said it last time after the AFCON. The over-concentration is on the Black Stars. The Black Stars do not represent football in the country.
That's actually true.
We've seen the ministry overlook the Black Queens, the Black Princesses, the
Maidens,
satellite starlets. They all play
In
football.
fact, the GFA handle didn't drop a single tweet about Ghana's under 20 team that got knocked out from. They did not send out a single tweet.
Dr. Mohammed.
What? It just shows that they don't care.
All these things is about priority. It is the guys at the top who identify the closest medium to getting a medal and then pump money there and push them to get it. It's as simple as that. That is their job. You can't train the athletes. It's the coaches who train. So you look at our sporting federations, you look at everybody and the best chance that we have. Didn't we play football at the All Africa?
Yeah, we did.
Where did they finish?
They were kicked out of the group stage.
Exactly. So you look at this thing, and nobody needed to tell you that it was the athletics guy. Even Godfred said it, Fenn said it, weeks before, months before, that even the GEA in this state are the ones who will go to the competition and bring us medals. So we knew. The fact of the matter is that we don't invest enough in them. We don't. And Coach made a fantastic point. If we really want to host, we should have started seeing signs of seriousness by now. Let me give you an example. In 2008, Tom Daley was 14 years old, a British diver, 14 years old, and they took him to the Olympics. Before the Olympic Games, the British media were pummeling, they were angry. Why do you take such a young chap? What is he going to do there? And their swimming association said it was all for experience because the guy has talent. 4 years from now, we are going to host Olympic Games. So we have to. It's preparation. We don't want the medal now. The following year, he was world champion at 15. Just the following year, he was world champion. Unfortunately, he lost form just before the 2012 Olympics, but he still won bronze. And this is a competition where traditionally Great Britain were not doing well at all.
Not winning anything.
It is priority. You look at the ages of the Japanese and Chinese swimmers back in 2004 Athens Olympics.
15,
All
16.
15, 16. Looking forward to 2008. It's planning. It's planning. Planning is not talking. Planning is acting. You've come out and you said, Agenda 2020, we are going to... How are you going to win the medals? If in Africa, you can only get 13 and you are going to the World Olympics, how many... Are you serious? It's not going to happen by magic.
And you mentioned the swimming. Not to take you too far, Rio 2016, we took a 16-year-old Kaya Forsen. She's still competing. Then African Games, and we said, we took her there for the experience and all that. Then African Games, like Nimli said, he said, we are cutting the number. We are taking everything. So you don't take her again. But she's in a good space. She's growing.
4 years that she come and win gold.
Kaya's case, there's a backstory. A lot of people. There's a very nasty backstory.
Oh yes.
Of how her dad had struggled to get her daughter through, and all these funny people are there, do this, we can't get visa, pay money, do
serious?
this, blah blah.
It's always like this.
All this, look, in this Christopher Nimley, I have interactions between myself and Kaya's dad.
Look, look, these things just underline look, I don't want to say it's a black man mentality, but something I've come to realize about us.
There's still just chaos. We don't like to do anything. We don't like to do anything in structure.
Exactly. We don't understand the power of planning, the power of investing now to gain later.
Yep. We want
And
instant results.
No matter how much we talk, nothing is going to happen if you don't plan. Because look, they say Onyame ye lefty. Somebody cannot plan and invest money in his athletes, and you sit down there and come and take mic.
Do
and shout,
yabana.
We are going to take 2020. We are going to win. It's not going to happen like that. You need to invest. You need not just time, money. You need to train these coaches, expand their know-how, let them be abreast with the foreigners, take them there for the experience, let them learn, let them come back and pass on that knowledge to the students here in Ghana. We don't necessarily, frankly speaking, I don't believe in flying them out every time. No. If you can teach the coaches to be that good, or if you can teach the athletes outside to be that good, why can't you also teach the coaches so that you stop taking the athletes outside, keep them here, and let them be trained?
Let's take a quick break here on Sports Panorama. Remember, the show is proudly brought to us by Betway. And before we take that break, we'll listen to the minister's message on what we should be doing and what we should not be doing. Yes, let's learn lessons from Sports Panorama. We are educating ourselves. Isaac Esiama, talk to us.
Arrangements. Egypt. World civilization, world civilization. We are seeing any Bieno, and idea is documented. A history that center of the world civilization is Egypt. And Sana Adesina Bedouin. Jenga say about Egypt. That's what you're shouting. And they say, you're very much free. You're very much free. Muslim, I don't say, Ako Keda. And never I say, you just say, you bet me a excursion. Come on, no money. I and anyway, my catch there, you were a good man. And I'm that way, on any pencil that way, or on the guitar, pencil that I don't know. So I'm going to say, now, baby, I interested in Martino. Because same Bible moons and some Yano, Yanya roadmap, no team call, Yanya go shape right. If you say, Yabba and Ade, Yabba and Ade, they all say who be outside there, you're free animal. Then you have some Debino at the custom. Say you call Egypt and you call you're ready to check up my
Betway's 4 to Score is back and better than ever. Each week, you get the chance to win your share of 25,000 Ghana cedis.
Travel the country in just 30 minutes on the U-Tour bus.
I'm just coming from the home or from the palace of the new Yana. This is our story being told.
Journeys to explore.
From the plains to the greens to the scenery to everything. There's so much we need to do, to boost tourism around this area. That guy was just getting up.
Learn and indulge in the culture and lifestyle of the people. U-Tour shows on City TV every Saturday at 1 p.m.
Now, Betway's 4 to Score is back and it's better than ever. Now, each week you get the chance to win your share of 25,000 Ghana cedis. All you have to do is choose the player you think will open the scoring in 4 soccer matches. Study the stats and choose your own players, or let the random pick button decide for you. Entry is completely free, and if the prize is not won, it will roll over to a massive 50,000 Ghana cedis. Bet your way on 4 to Score for free at betway.com.gh. Betway, for the love of the game. Let me read a few messages that have been coming through. Farouk Headliner from Medina says that, Coach Chris, how are you? Just it's
a good question.
I like that. So, Coach Chris, how are you? Oh. Yes, you needed to see that. Yes, you needed to see that. He says that just 2-1. Say take heart, okay? See how the table has turned.
Just one.
Oh, Charlie, Charlie, the guy for Birapa. Say just want to say take heart, okay? See how the table has turned within a year. Today you are playing against Astana and Co.
Oh, nah,
while we Chelsea are dining with the big guys.
Oh, nah.
Farouk, One him. Let's move on. This one here says that so the universities have seen the sense in investing in Ghanaian athletics, yet our own sports ministry is too blind to see. Rather spend dubious amounts of money on the Black Stars, a Bonkele ministry from Sly. James from East Legon says, Fentuo, good analysis. Please tell those in charge of the Ghana's fastest human that we can see the things they have been doing. One day they will be exposed. This one, Charlie. Waka Rose, this one says that beautiful show as always on the All African Games, brothers. That our quartet were just superb, and the victory was sweeter, beating Nigeria to gold. That was a super performance. This from Kofi Che inside Tantra's Yellow House. Says also congrats to Rose Yeboah. Elvis from Odoko says, Coach Nimley, I hope you saw how Crystal Palace exposed and frustrated United last week. You've not seen anything at all because there are more defeats coming. So get ready, because you are going to lose to Southampton as well. Chelsea all the way. Look, for those of you out there, hold on, coach, hold on. I will never, I will never, and I repeat, never hold a show like this without giving you the spotlight to explain with the aid of diagrams. I'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, mini. We'll come back to you in a bit. This one here says that why is Africa still looking so unimpressive when it comes to major sporting competitions? No spectators in the African Games makes it look like some training session for athletes. The recent AFCON also had games with almost empty stadia. It doesn't happen on other continents. Charlie and Canadian, please don't say it aloud. Says, good evening, guys. Tonight I have really enjoyed the analysis of Fent on the Ghana athletics team and his in-depth knowledge on the sports discussion. Harry Precious, like I said, athletics
Avatar.
Good. Let us go on. This one also says, why is the stadium always empty? If Ghana really will be hosting the African Games next 4 years, then we have to do better in terms of organization and also attendance. This one says, good evening, Kojo. I have really enjoyed the program. Please, no football today. We've had enough. I can't stop listening to you guys. That's from Nana in Tiamoa. This one also from Ni Odate says that I'm really enjoying the discussion. Kudos to the 4x100 relay team. It's about the second time we are beating the Anago people in recent history. Even if we don't win any medals again, I am very fine. Charlie, but people's clubs will really be playing against Astana.
6,000 miles away.
Can't worry.
When 6,000 miles away. Wait, let me stress that.
Hold on.
6,000 miles away.
Then when I saw the pot, right, I just looked at it and said, Man United to get Astana. And it happened.
Charlie.
Fent, do you remember a year ago?
I don't remember. I remember today.
I'm just asking you a question. Do you remember a year ago?
Divert there.
When coach,
I don't remember.
Oh, you know me, I'm in the Champions League, so me, I don't really care.
Okay.
You are in the Champions League how?
Oh, you know this. See,
You don't respect yourself. You are in Champions League.
coach spoke about Chelsea playing Sister Vida and Co. Now you are sitting here, you and Nathan. You people are going to be facing Astana.
Astana is better than Vida.
Astana. Charlie, Astana. Let me show you. Astana.
It's better than Vida.
Then Astana, they have this AstroTurf, and if you are not careful, by the time you understand what is going on the pitch, the Bible would have scored 5.
Charlie.
See, Astana's biggest player in the history of the club is Patrick Chumesi. he can't start games at Alaves, so he's been loaned to Turkey.
Charlie.
Do you understand?
United.
He's been loaned to Turkey. Do you understand?
But United's group is not that bad.
Guys,
Not that bad.
I beg you, hold on. Before we forget about United and Astana, before we get to the Champions League draw, I'll give you 60 seconds. Coach, how?
Wait, Ben, you're not even talking about the biggest news of the day.
Which one is that?
Chris Paul is gone!
Charlie Nathan is actually doing dance steps to Chris. Charlie.
I did a Facebook live. Charlie, camera. Come on, when you want to
Get one free for the
Oh yes. Oh,
The stomach dance. Charlie.
United will miss this great player.
Small D is gone.
Small
Brilliant.
Small.
Brilliant.
Small ehane towo. No more.
Coach, I need you to say a send-off prayer for Smalling. Hopefully that he doesn't return, so that Roma will buy him. So that Roma will buy Chris Smalling. He won't come back.
Yehowa. Menegbine wonder bushi.
Shida
akpe jiono. Smalling ete Roma. Ow. Ehane towo keche. Oh, Smalling ne. Biane ekoto shine ba head boy ye chipon. E wa mo ne ba chest boy ye grass no. Woke eya ye jole me. Yo wa jomo le ye Roma. Kono be na ka agbo na. Get 2 million. But wa ma was 500,000 pounds. Ne kaje. E ka baton ni wa ya jo. E ka baton. Ye yesu gba mi. Amen.
Charlie. But how? How did you let Jordan Ayew remove your pants like that?
Ona, you see, when you are playing against a team like Crystal Palace.
No, but hold on. One other question. That day I was in the studio with you. I
got some good education.
Charlie.
2 things. So Crystal Palace, and
Palace.
Watford,
And Norwich, actually.
Norwich, yes, Norwich,
So
and
Crystal
Bournemouth.
Palace, Watford,
Yes.
and Norwich.
That day I was in the studio with you when
Yeah.
Patrick Van Aanholt stuck the dagger in United's heart. Somebody sent a text message. He says, even the tone of your voice had changed.
No, that-
Your analysis had
the fact
received,
of the
had
matter
received
is
the
this.
cold shiver.
And I know the source of that message. It's from my blue brothers. You see, I love them. The fact of the matter is, I enjoyed it when they come at me like this.
It gives you
So
a good.
they should also be prepared, because I have said, and I'm on record, that you see, there are times that will definitely come to pass. Look, Ben, not today's day. I am saying it and I'll say it again. If this Chelsea team goes to the Etihad, the minimum, last year I said the minimum they will take is Ayele. And then we ended up at what? Ajete. This year I am stating again, the minimum they will take is Ajete.
No.
Therefore, we'll
The
get to
question is,
midnight.
explain what happened. You are going to
Hold on. Let's reflect. Let's background.
Bashing. Do you understand the meaning of bashing?
Yeah, Jinanje.
Bashing, Bojidi law. Patsamoshin. You see? So last week, you see, when you have somebody like Cranton's Kezi, who refuses to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that is what happens. You played against a very stubborn team who took the lead. You came back, fought for the equalize, which you got, and then just do the simple thing. Basic. You see, it is so basic from the best player in your team. If you have the best player in your team thinking that he should try so hard, I understand. At times, I don't fault him because of the people that around him. So he feels that he should be the one. Yes, that is his responsibility. But within the line, you should be smart enough to know when to go simple, because that is what makes you an intelligent and a smart player. United lost. We've taken it in good. We will not come and say we perform well. Oh. We are not performance FC. At all. We lost.
Neither are you deserve FC.
No, Dabi. Tomorrow we go again. Against who? Southampton.
Yeah, but when Chelsea loses, the next day they don't go again.
They
don't go again.
Hasn't Huto masterclass incoming tomorrow?
They don't go again.
No,
You are going again. But when Chelsea loses, the next day they don't go
praise
again.
your performance. I will not sit here and praise our performance.
Who has
we lost?
Who has praised?
Okay, let's move the conversation forward. Let's get to the UEFA Champions League draw, because that
Before
Virgil van Dijk.
the award.
Oh, he has won it. Chef Van Dijk.
You see, this week,
Van Dijk.
This week has been good
Chief
for me.
Van Dijk.
You see, this week has been good for me.
Barrister Van
You see,
Dijk.
I hope
Council Van
I
Dijk.
hope that Chris Smalling watched the award. Like when he watched Van Dijk walk elegantly to take the award, he should ask himself, after playing for 9 years, playing 9 years for Man United, has he come close to this?
But is it
Absolute nonsense of a player.
Every girl say me hot like the Sahara. And this pretty girl named Tamara. Give me the things so me score like a baller.
Charlie, you can't be.
I'm happy Van Dijk. I think he deserved it. For once,
Shatta Van Dijk.
defenders need to be recognized.
Osofo Van Dijk.
Nah.
Reverend Van Dijk. His eminence.
Defender, Papa.
He's not like
Archbishop
in the class
Van
of
Dijk.
Rugani that somebody sat here and overly praised.
The hybrid.
But guys, Uganda will be playing well. I just heard that Giorgio Chiellini's torn his ACL.
So the hybrid replaces him.
But it looks like it's delict.
It's
Yeah, so Virgil van Dijk won that award. Messi came in second. Ronaldo came in third. If you look at the top 10 in terms of the rankings, Mane came in fourth. You have Mohamed Salah, Eden Hazard, Matthias De Ligt, Frankie De Jong, Raheem Sterling in that particular order. But to the draw itself, Group A has Paris Saint-Germain, has Real Madrid, it has Club Brugge, and it has Galatasaray. Group B has
Ben, quickly
yeah.
before we move on. You see, these awards, they are beginning to disturb me. How did Hazard finish above Raheem Sterling? First of all, how many games in the Europa League?
Votes were cast.
How many games in the Europa League did Hazard even play for him to finish above Raheem?
Giroud should have won
A
that.
shock. These things, they should stop.
Reputation.
They should stop. Like
Reputation
last
is
year,
everything.
when they took the trophy and gave it to Modric, that we are tired of Ronaldo. If you are tired of Ronaldo and Messi,
Hey,
get somebody who's better than the two of them. Van Dijk, dash the thing to somebody.
Don't talk about Modric, please. You are off. You are off.
Peter, Luka Modric.
You've gone off the radar, please.
Still, if they are doing it,
Your microphone is off. You can't be insulting Luka Modric in here. You know Luka Modric slander will be tolerated in this studio. Let's get to Group B. Group B has Bayern Munich, Tottenham Hotspur,
Juicy.
Olympiacos, and Ghana's own Red Star Belgrade.
No.
So,
Mention the Serbian name.
oh, Charlie.
Severnas Vesda.
Menyasa. Red Star Belgrade. That's where Richard Boatia don't plays his football. Say what?
Severnas Vesda.
Let's go on. Group C has Manchester City.
yeah, October 1.
What's going on?
October 1.
Daniel, what's going on?
Oh, I like it.
Do you care to tell listeners what's going
I
on?
love this group. Oh, I mentioned the group.
Charlie, but-
Manchester City, Shakhtar, Dinamo Zagreb, and
But why is
Atalanta.
it that Man City? Do you always get similar?
Mole.
Every time they are getting.
time.
That the fun part of it is that the moment they get those teams, then Pep will go and beat them 3-0. Then the postman you say is the best team he's ever played against.
Yeah.
He has already
He likes
started.
those things.
He said Atalanta play a unique kind of football. They were fantastic.
is it not
Hold
like-
on.
They were dead
Hold on. He said they are one of the best teams in Italy, and that is a very difficult
it
game.
not true?
They'll play, then they'll beat them 5-0.
If it is not City's fault that we
Please.
are better than everybody.
No, but
Daniel,
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 respect yourself.
Respect yourself. That is one code we go by on this desk. Respect yourself.
I'm happy.
You and who?
I'm happy that Atalanta get to play at least. Those who don't know will get to enjoy. I hope he's still informed. Duvan Zapata.
Yep.
I really hope he's informed.
They have a brilliant all-round
and
team.
his very good friend Ilicic Klone. I just hope that they
Group D, Juventus, Atletico, Leverkusen, and Lokomotiv Moscow.
Cristiano will be cooking.
Group E,
Atletico will swallow.
Liverpool, Napoli, Salzburg, and Genk. Joseph Edu could have been playing here.
Joseph Pentel still plays.
Yeah. Group F has Barcelona, Dortmund, and Inter Milan.
Neymar has arrived. Oh, Charlie.
Slavia Praha
Nah,
complete the group.
Neymar. Oh.
Neymar.
Almost how can you give me number?
Some bad.
He's going to Barcelona.
Group G has Zenit, Benfica, Lyon, and Leipzig. And Group
That
H, Group H has Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, and Lille.
The group of death.
My quick respect.
Group I.
No, don't.
Man United. All relax.
Ogandalia.
Kwabi Brain and the wee youngsters.
Zetuna.
Charlie, I'm just going to take one question from all of you before we move on. Coach, who's winning the Champions League this campaign?
It has to be Barcelona.
That's all I'm taking
Because
from
I
you.
think Neymar will make them win it.
Nathan.
Yeah, transferring you.
Liverpool.
Oh, he's a
Liverpool.
Yes.
Barcelona, Liverpool. I will remember this almost a year from now. Fent.
Who's winning the Champions League?
Yeah.
Juventus?
The guy has clouded your judgment.
It can't be Chelsea. Mention a better team.
You were toying with the idea of saying Chelsea. Let a little respect creep into your life. Don't do it. Don't be tempted to do it.
In 2012,
Who will win
Hold
the
on.
Champions
Who will win the Champions League?
Oh, this man.
for arguments? I don't understand him.
No, you can't. You can't do any explanation.
In 2012,
How?
Chelsea played Valencia in the group stages. A former Chelsea player was in charge. In 2019, Chelsea is playing Valencia in the group stages. A former Chelsea player is in charge.
So don't win.
Does this mean Chelsea will win the Champions League? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Answer the
You
question.
have to answer the question, please.
My money is on Juve. If they don't do it,
Hey, you like explaining power. You like asking for extra sheet. You, Daniel.
oh, it's true. History. The history graph failed. It seems the examiner didn't mark the paper.
You are not serious, Daniel. Who wins this Champions League?
Pep Guardiola.
Is that where you want? Is that a hill you want to die on?
Guardiola is winning the Champions League.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's now get to the Premier League because we have a big day on our hands. Match week 4. Charlie, Jordan, now you know try for some people. Tammy Abraham.
Kevin.
Now he's world class. We here.
Nobody has
Nobody
said
has
Tammy
said
Abraham
that.
is world
Nobody
class.
has said that.
Nobody has said
Oh,
anything.
but you guys, wait. Aren't you happy that today, if they organize intergalactic football competition, it is Van Dijk who will represent Earth?
But why?
Of course, we are happy.
We are happy.
Last year,
Chef-
Luka Modric will go and represent Earth.
Charlie, I'm telling you, I've told you that as long as I'm here, you can say anything about anybody. Don't enter that Luka Modric realm, please. Respect yourself. Coach, let me quickly go through the fixtures for match week 4 in the EPL, and then we'll zone in on 2 of the big games for the weekend. So there's Southampton versus Manchester United, our early kickoff game. There's Chelsea versus Sheffield United. There's Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. There's Leicester City versus Bournemouth. Man City versus Brighton. Newcastle versus Watford. There's West Ham versus Norwich. And then there's Burnley versus Liverpool. On Sunday, Everton take on Wolves. And then Arsenal welcome Tottenham to the Emirates. Nathan, let me take your thoughts on the London derby.
Oh, Charlie, that's intense.
With
That will be fun.
the skinny Razak Pimpon will be parading himself there again.
No, Nicolas Pepe will be fine. Trust me.
Oh,
He will be fine. But I think that Arsenal will look at this game and
you were judging Daniel James. He's scoring finesse shots.
What has Daniel James done?
What has Pepe done?
Even Darren Fletcher was going.
According to what Pepe has been doing, he should have been at the All African Games competing for Cote d'Ivoire in the sprints. Please, let's go on.
I'm just saying, I think that Arsenal will look at this game and feel that they do have a good chance. Spurs, the kind of cloud they've been in heading into this game is not the best. Just this week, they got rid of Victor Wanyama, or they're about to get rid of him. Whatever it is, he's going to Club Brugge. They look very thin at right back. Mauricio Pochettino has been batting off questions about his exit and all of that. I don't think it's a great way to prepare for the London derby. And if you look at how they lost last week, they'll be very desperate to get a result. And that would mean that if they go at Arsenal might just have enough space to put the ball in behind them. And Arsenal's front two of Lacazette and Aubameyang and should Pepe play are very, very quick if you combine them. So I think Arsenal will start as favourites. They look like a team that can win this. But we've seen Arsenal, play great games and still not win them. But I think that this one is something they can win. They look confident. They will feel confident, and I'm sure they'll be at that place where they'll look at that Liverpool result, quickly put it behind them, and try to move on. At least they have an opportunity to play another big game and win this. And I think that's the kind of bounce that will help them win. For like I said, for Spurs, the desperation of trying to right that Newcastle result might just be where they lose this game. So for me, I tip Arsenal to win.
A message is coming through from the former Deputy Finance Minister and former Greek Minister, the Honourable Fifi Kwete. Astute Chelsea fan. What he doesn't like is coach attempting to pour sand in Chelsea's garage. Now he says, tell coach that Sarri is gone. It's a different Chelsea this season. Just wait for Kante and Rudiger and Cheek and Reece James to come back and he will see the real Chelsea. Even without them, Liverpool were on the ropes and were lucky to win the Super Cup on penalties. He said he should not be misled.
Tell my boss.
Relax. relax. He should not be misled by those individual errors that gave a largely outplayed man counter-attacking United 4 against Chelsea. See, I love the Honorable Fifi Kweke. Honorable,
largely outplayed.
Wherever you are, we greet you.
You see, tell my boss, if Chelsea will, what is it? Loudly what?
Largely outplayed man counter-attacking United.
I will take that all day at the expense of Ayoko.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Come on, boss. Kante, a canto hin. Rudiger, Lewe canto hin. These players, it's clear they are not who they were.
Okay, let's get to our Betway picks of the week.
I got a message from our senior Fifi Bansi, the Dynamite.
Yeah.
This week I was with him, Charlie. He shared some very interesting stories. He said, tell coach, welcome to Europa. He says, we'll meet him in Azerbaijan. He said, if he's not careful,
it's a Baku thing.
My favorite part of the message, he said, if he's not careful, he'll play in Swedru.
Charlie, is that what we have arrived at?
You see?
Hey.
You see, through the Dynamite, he's my boss.
Yeah.
And there were times during the days of Jose, he and myself were going back and forth. Jose was French. I said, no, he was. But I mean, he's got Una Emery. He would do.
Arsenal people say that Una Emery right now should go and be a stockbroker because he doesn't even know how to do selection. Charlie. Let's quickly go through our Betway picks for the week, and then I'll read a few more messages before we draw the curtain on today's show. So, friends, take us through the first couple of picks, and then we'll explain why we picked Team A, Team B, or Team C to be in the mix. So, yes, the first game on our list today is Arsenal versus Tottenham.
Both teams to score
Yeah.
is the pick. And the last time these two sides met, 4-2. And both teams don't seem very settled on their defense just yet. And they have some fire attacks of their own.
David Luiz is in his zone.
So it does look like both teams will concede.
Spurs will score a penalty.
Chelsea versus Sheffield United.
2 in a row for Chelsea. I think against a newly promoted team at home, even against a very tough Leicester, they looked like they were going to win at some point. So I think Chelsea will win. We think Chelsea will win.
Leicester versus Bournemouth.
This is a tricky one. We picked Leicester to win mostly because Leicester have been so far really good this season.
They've been more promising, and Bournemouth have been leaky.
Yeah, exactly. So and the odds are really good.
Yep. That is the important bit. Then we moved over to the Bundesliga and did Union Berlin versus Borussia Dortmund.
Dortmund to smash this up.
Dortmund.
The problem though with Dortmund, what I have noticed this season, they've developed a habit of conceding first and then coming back to win games. So what it means is that they do have the firepower to win games.
Yeah.
The problem though is, can they stop the opposition from scoring? But I think Dortmund to win.
They need to distribute cups before the game starts. It's about to be a drink cup.
Zanla goes Zanla.
And then the last one we have Lazio versus Roma.
The Rome derby.
One of my favorite football matches. Underrated.
No, let me
Underrated.
before I even say anything, there was a particular Rome derby where Francesco Totti and Vincenzo Montella, I think they scored, and then Totti takes off his t-shirt and it's something written in Italian. So in English he says, "Hello Lazio, I have purged you again."
It's the only derby that ends and fights spill into the streets and into
there was a particular derby that the fans were shouting, and they were shouting that somebody had been killed outside the stadium. The Roma fans said somebody had been killed outside the stadium. It apparently wasn't true. They did that to stop the game.
Crazy derby it is, I tell you. Let me read a few messages.
But we haven't given the pick for
We need to do the booking code.
The pick for that is both teams to
score.
Both teams to score.
Both
So
teams to score.
Lazio versus Roma, we have both
and
teams
it's just
to score.
premised on Roma's habit. On game day one, they led, conceded, it really didn't make any sense. And I think that they don't have a solid defense. And now,
no more Chris Smalling.
now that Chris Smalling is there,
Chris Smalling is their girl them sugar. Please relax for him. Relax. Let me.
No more. I have some shout out to me.
Please relax. The shout outs, everybody will get it.
Now good.
So if you look at the booking code that we have, so to book this particular bet, 4B B for biscuit. B for bandana. Charlie.
But what? Oh,
Charlie, tomorrow is Bob Risky's birthday. He's trending number 2.
Okay.
B for B.
4B. 238B.
Bobole bobo.
B for Bobole Bobo, please. I thank you for that. 4B 238B0. 4B 238B0. And it will be on the main City 97.3 Twitter handle with the booking code, just so you missed it. Let me read one or two messages. This one here says that Daniel Cranting, relax, oh, talk is really cheap. Last week, James scored a beautiful goal, and Tammy the 10 Tola Abraham scored.
Tammy is world class.
As for Coach Nimley, I leave him to shatter bundles. Lashibi, Chris Phil Jones. This one says that please somebody tell Chris Smalling and Alexis to stay in Italy forever. This is Prince Ajekum inside airport residential area. This one says that Ben, please tell Coach Chris that Thursday in Ghanaian churches are for evangelism and not football. Next, when he sees Chelsea, he will respect us.
Yeah.
Charlie, Coach,
Somebody just tweeted, said, Astana Anna call Sister Anna.
Coach, I will advise you. No, Coach, relax.
Spare Vida.
Coach, I will advise that you buy a new Bible. Buy yourself daily manna or daily bread, if possible, because you are about to go on an evangelism spree.
Don't worry.
Shout outs time, quick shout outs before we go. Quick one from you, Coach.
One to my colleague's wife, Mrs. Letitia Konedu Kwashi. She's listening to the program. She never misses.
Oh, Mrs. Kwashi, thank you very much for
Mrs.
listening.
Kwashi.
It's always nice.
Why you BBA? You do all.
You didn't notice Nimley's a boy.
Hey!
I've always had it.
I've always had this about every Friday. See, Mrs. Nimle is always looking out for that. No matter shine, we need to find.
You say, no, hold on. I need a little silence here. You say what? Every Friday who?
Mrs. Nimle is looking out for that boy. When I reach home, no more. If you
Saka, go.
Charlie. One more shout out, there we go.
To Miss Erica, the new nurse at Ghana Christian International School. She's also listening to the program. She's just a newly employed nurse there. She's been wonderful. Okay. So Miss Erica, have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening to Sports Panorama for the very first time. Come on board.
Nathan, quick one from you. Quick shout out.
Shouts to everybody who listens to us. We appreciate the love and support. Shouts to my mates from the Accra Academy 04-year group, Charlie. All kinds of very interesting characters are there. So, guys, thanks so much.
Well,
yeah. So, shouts to Enoch.
First to Agi. Shout to Agi first.
Ajiman. Enoch Opoku Ajiman of Nisi Pharmacy. That's the brother-in-law of a good friend of mine, Darling. He's a big fan of the show. Shouts to you, Enoch. You do all. And then today we have to say shouts to Patawa. Patawa jerseys. So Charlie, Patawa, you do all. Thank you very much, guys. And the guys from Bison 5. Now I have changed the name of my Chelsea WhatsApp group to Bison 5.
You are doing too many.
In honor of the Bison.
You are doing too many shout outs. Go away. Daniel.
Go
away. It's okay. Daniel, finish it for us. Please.
Shout outs to the biggest, baddest barber shop in the whole of Abokobi Boy. All for one barber shop. The ones who make me look this clean.
Hey,
drip. All for one. The hardest, biggest, baddest barber shop. And then hi and shout outs to my cousin Paul. Tomorrow will be difficult, but
Charlie,
you will talk this evening.
Things we do for free haircut.
Charlie, and it easy, Nana. And for me here, Benjamin Nketia, it's been amazing hanging out with you guys. Thank you for the text messages and also for the tweets. Fentuo Tahiru, Daniel Krante, Nathan Kwa, and Coach Christopher Nimley helped me to do this. The guys have no regard for the fact that this show is streaming live. They are completely misbehaving in the studio. Last word.
No come back
Which
for
one?
the haircut line.
No, go away. You're a rich man out here giving shout outs for free haircuts. The whole world has seen your life. Sports Panorama, we really thank you for listening to us. The Premier League preview show is right next after this one, so stay with us.
This is a Game Day podcast from Talk Sport.
Hello and welcome to the Game Day Premier League preview podcast from Talk Sport with me, Sam Matterface. As always, we'll bring you a preview of each and every one of this week's matches in the best league in the world, without the help of any technology, because let's face it, we actually want to get it right. This week, my football-loving friends are Talk Sport's South Coast-based glory-hunting Manchester United fan, Alex Crook.
Not much glory to be had this season, Sam.
Andrew Butler will provide the clear and